MCQs from Oxford in Vacation by Charles Lamb. Who is the author of Oxford in Vacation? Obviously, it's Charles Lamb. What is Oxford in Vacation primarily about? It was about a reflective. It is a reflective essay on the quietness of Oxford during vacations. Under which pen name did Lamb often write? He wrote under the name of Elia. In which collection was Oxford in Vacation published? It was published in Essays of Elia. What is Lamb's tone throughout the essay? Humorous and reflective. What time of year is described in Oxford in Vacation? It's summer vacation. What is Lamb's attitude towards solitude in the essay? He cherishes it. Which character does Lamb describe as a bookseller in Oxford? It's Mr. N. How does Lamb describe the libraries of Oxford? They are sacred and peaceful. What aspect of Oxford appeals most to Lamb during vacations? It's solitude and silence. Now some questions about literary and thematic aspects used in this essay. What genre does Oxford in Vacation belong to? It is an essay. Lamb often uses which literary technique in his essay? His personal anecdote. The essay reflects Lamb's love for what? Books and quietude. Lamb mentions great unexplored book depositories. What does he mean? He means that old, little-known libraries. What does Lamb imply about scholars who frequent libraries during vacation? He says that they are noble and thoughtful. What does the essay reveal about Lamb's personality? He is introverted and meditative. Which word best describes the atmosphere in Oxford during vacation as depicted by Lamb? The atmosphere was serene. Lamb contrasts Oxford during term time and vacation to show the beauty of silence and solitude. Lamb's affection for books is compared to a religious worship. Why does Lamb enjoy Oxford during vacation? Because of the tranquil environment and access to books. Now some questions about characters and settings of this essay. Who is Mr. GD in the essay? He was a friend of Lamb. What role do old folios play in the essay? They signify Lamb's love of ancient literature. Lamb sees the silence of Oxford libraries as sacred. What is the essay's primary setting? The primary setting is Oxford University. The essay is written in the style of personal reflection. Lamb's depiction of Oxford libraries suggests that they are spiritual heavens. What does Lamb regret in the essay? He regrets that not being a scholar at Oxford. Which metaphor does Lamb use for books? He used friends and companions for books. How does Lamb view the passing of time in Oxford? As the meditative. The essay reflects Lamb's love for intellectual solitude. Now some questions about the style, language and interpretation of this essay. Which literary device is most prominently used in Oxford in Vacation? It's imagery. Which aspect of student life does Lamb purposely avoid discussing in the essay? The academic competition. Lamb refers to himself as a silent worshipper of what? As a worshipper of libraries. What does Lamb suggest is the true charm of Oxford during vacation? Its opportunity for personal meditation. Lamb's love for books in this essay is compared to a religious devotion. What emotion best describes Lamb's tone towards Oxford's silence? It's contentment. Which sentence best describes Lamb's view of vacations? A moment for inner reflection. Lamb mentions his friend George Tyre in order to showcase a model of scholarly dedication. The essay blends which two elements effectively? The element of personal memory and philosophical insight. Which of the following is a key theme in Oxford in Vacation? It's nostalgia. Now some questions about critical thinking and the deeper themes used in this essay. What contrast does Lamb repeatedly used in this his essay? The term time versus vacation. Why does Lamb feel a special connection with Oxford during vacation? Because he likes solitude and quietness. What does Lamb admire about George Dyer's scholarship? About his humility and dedication. The essay reflects the romantic ideal of solitude and imagination. What role do Lamb's emotions play in shaping the essay? They dominate the narrative. How does Lamb view the scholars who remain in Oxford during vacation? He viewed them as noble and peaceful figures. What quality of Oxford architecture is praised in the essay? Its silence and grandeur. What does the essay ultimately reveal about Lamb's philosophy of life? It reveals the silence and thoughtfulness are valuable. How does Lamb subtly critique academic life? It is through irony and contrast with personal. And last question, what makes Oxford in Vacation a classical example of the familiar essay? Its personal voice, gentle humor and introspective tone. So be prepared for your exams and keep watching.